Alright, so today I'm going to kind of continue from the 6.4 intake manifold that we installed on the charger last week. So we got the connector that goes onto that valve. It's got 4 wires, we're only going to need 3 of them. Power ground and a ground signal to hit short runners. And we got this MSD RPM switch. So all we have to do is hook it up to a injector or coil that it can measure with, tell it that it's a coil pack setup, which that's important. You need one of these that's compatible with coil packs. I bought an Intellitronics one that is, cheaper, but it only works with distributors. It needs to see all 8 pulses to measure it. This one you can configure. So don't make the mistake I did and try to buy the cheap one first. So anyway, we'll start getting stuff laid out in the engine bay and figure out where and what needs connected. Alright, so we kind of got things laid out where we want them. This gray wire we won't need, so it's just out of the way. Power we'll get from an add a fuse in the fuse box here. Just put it in that spot because it's always on, so we can test it in a second. The ground will connect down here at this ground point, but for now it's just on the negative post there. This wire will be the signal from the coil. Just stuck a pin in the connector there to make sure I got the right side of the coil first before I connect any wires. And this wire here will connect to the signal wire from the SRV connector. Now this one is positive for the short runner valve and this one's negative for it, so those I'll run back up here, and I think I'll connect them to the same fuse, I'll connect them to the same fuse up here. But we can go ahead and I think we'll connect some power to this and just do a quick check to make sure it's working. There. So that's on, and now we can see if we can't configure it. There. Now we'll go and we can set it for 4800 RPM, because that's where the... oh, damn it. Come on. It's not liking me. Buttons are hard to push. 4800 RPM is where the Helmholtz effect for this intake manifold dictates it goes. And that's, that's air throbbing. Like if you roll the window down in your car and it you feel it pulsating. It's kind of what that is. So now we've set that, so now we got to set our off point, which we want it to stay on the whole rest of the rev range, even though the car only goes up to 57 stock. Because the power car falls off, we'll just set it up all the way, because we don't want it to shut back off. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get to 12,000 RPM, so that we'll call that good. So now we'll set it down to 1 cylinder, because it's a single coil pack. So I think that's all the settings. Yep. There, we should be all set. So let's try the other side of the coil. Okay, we're on the switched ground side, I believe, of the injector now. So let's try it again. Alright, we'll hook up power to the box. Ground is on. There, now it looks like we're getting a good signal. It says 1100 RPM. Let's go see what it is on the tach. It says about 1,000, and that's 1,000 there, so that's good. Alright, now we just need to hook everything up. Okay, so we figured out where we want all the wires to be. Got the harness here for the short runner valve, and we just need to connect it. Just kind of taped to it where the wire to go to the injector needs to branch off. But, so we don't need that gray wire. So we'll get it out of the way for now. So we need to connect some power and ground wires to the need to connect some power and ground wires to the short runner valve to run back up here to the box and get powered. So we'll get some wire out to connect to those. And the yellow wire needs to connect there. Okay, so we got things situated here for the most part. Pop off the extra power wire. But this end will run up to the short runner valve, and I need to connect that into the injector. This will be the power for the short runner valve and the MSD box, and these will be the grounds for those two as well. So we should be able to set this sort of in place in the car now. So if this sits sort of here... And I did decide to use cloth tape instead of that heat-proof shielding stuff I had, just because this is a little thinner than that thing was really meant for. And it fits, or it matches the factory wiring a little bit better. Now the wires can come straight up into the fuse box. They can come around and connect to the add a fuse. Tuck along down here to the ground point. Now this long wire here should just be able to sort of run along here, and it'll go up to the short runner valve back here. There we go. Still my watch. So there, that'll go up there. This will sort of sit in this factory wire guide there. But, you know, apart from this stock wiring being covered in pollen and this new wire not, it doesn't look like anything's obviously been added apart from the box, which I think I'll use some body tape to stick on here for now. But we'll get a butt connector for that. Alright, well, everything's hooked up. Got one more connection up there to tape up where I connected to the injector, but I want to make sure everything's all working first. It's all plugged in, so we should see that it'll power up and read the engine RPM now. So let's see. We're running. There, we're reading our engine speed. That's good. So I think we're all good to tape that up. And we'll have to take it for a ride and see if we can feel the difference later.